Aloha everyone, Maluhia here, and welcome to the first episode of the Modern Coconut. This is just going to be a quick overview of the last 5 years and sort of the start and, well, not the finish because the house isn't finished yet, but sort of starting nothing and making it into something. And sharing with you those experiences is going to be broken down episode by episode. It was really overwhelming trying to explain a lot of these things, and so I had to break it down into chunks. But I'm happy to share this knowledge that I have, and over these past 5 years, the trips and fails and trials and tribulations and things that I've learned and insight that I have, and hopefully it inspires you or entertains you at the very least. But let's get to it. I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's get to it. I'm going to show you how to do it. What the fuck? You don't need a glass of wine for this. Oh. Aloha all. Maluhia here, or Hia for short if you like. And welcome to the Modern Coconut. This channel was originally intended to be an art tutorial channel, like with how-tos and upcycling, and people seem to be interested in off-grid life, so I decided to include that and the journey that has come from the 5 years that I've been out here. So in 2019, I moved from Oahu to the Big Island of Hawaii, and I had bought a parcel of land and decided that I was going to do a DIY home build. And I landed on a shipping container house. And this was after 3 or 4 years of research and how can I do this affordably and by myself. And I came up with this plan. I came up with this design, a really simple layout, something that seemed achievable, and Big Island seemed kind of the perfect place to do it. The Big Island for me was always like sort of this magnetic place. It seemed just charming and beautiful and, grand and lush, and it was all of the things. It ticked all of the boxes. So I moved out here knowing really just a few people, and having my things shipped in one container, including my car, out here and placed onto my land, and buying another container out here. And the land was raw. It had been cleared while I was still living on Oahu. But I had gotten like advice from friends over there, and actually I flew out 5 people, friends who knew a hell of a lot more than I did when it comes to constructing a home. And they helped build the bones and the foundation of this very home. The 2 containers were placed 25 feet apart. The boys came in and built the deck. And dear God, I don't know what I would have done if they weren't here. The plan literally relied on them helping. So thank you so much, guys. I love you and I miss you. But those first days of this project were rough. I could only afford a few sheets of plywood to get me from one side of the deck to the other and to the door that was eventually cut out. But I had to save money to finish the deck. Plywood was twice as much here as it was on Oahu. Something that I hadn't figured into the budget. And I was living off of a generator for those first few months that a friend had lent me. Thankfully, thank you. And it was, it was rough at first. There was a lot of things that I planned out that, okay, great. And there was a lot of things that I didn't plan, and I was like, oh crap. A lot of side steps, a lot of fails. But eventually the deck got filled in, and that was, a game changer, because I could finally visualize the footprint of the house, and I could start planning for more. So in 2020, the roof finally got installed, and that was another milestone, because it meant that I could actually live in that space and start moving things in. But I still didn't have running water. I'm working off of propane and a tiny stovetop. And there's a lot of other things that still needed to get figured out, and they still aren't figured out to this day. But, I'm miles away from where I first started, which was nothing. So it's really rewarding right now to go over these photos and video of how all of this got pieced together. And I mean, I wouldn't have done it any other way. Like, in reflecting, I think that this was great. Like, I wouldn't want to change anything. I mean, I'd like to have more money, but things would be going a lot faster. But I don't have any debt. I do have a little bit, but nothing that's overwhelming. And because of this, it's afforded me to live exactly how I want to live. So thanks for letting me share that with you. And in the next episode, I'll go into a little bit more of a thorough breakdown onto the first steps of off-grid life, and hopefully it inspires you to do some more research of your own. But thanks for joining me, thanks for watching, and I hope you join me next time. Aloha.